Today is Wednesday, July 1st. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today, out of the Big Book, man, we are starting all over again, or just about it. We are beginning with the Doctor's Opinion, Roman numeral 15, that's XXV. And out of the 12 and 12, we are on the introduction. We will be reading page 14. And another first for this podcast is we are reading just for today from NA. We're going to read the July 1st edition. And in Al-Anon, we're going to read the Courage to Change July 1st entry. So lots of firsts today. And because of that, I was like, you know what? I had a new song picked out for July 1st to the end of the year. I'm like, you know what? It's too much change. I'll save the new song for January, Lord willing, one day at a time, right? But yeah, if you're just hopping on, what the show is all about, it's just me. I'm a hack. I'm just a regular dude reading through the anchor texts, which are the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. And periodically, we will change up the other recovery readings along with that. So we just finished up 24 hours a day and the daily reflection recovery readings. And now we're going to do, like I said, the Just for Today and Courage to Change. And the episodes are usually about 15 to 20 minutes long, depending on how much I ramble, which I apologize for. And yeah, that's all there is to it. This is by no means any replacement for the steps. This is just, honestly, it's accountability from me to read these books every single day. And this is the fourth circle around, I believe, at this point. And every single time we do this, I get something new out of it. So many new things. Oh, one last thing is, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. Take what you need and leave the rest. I am no AA guru. I am just, as I said, just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery. Honored to be here another day. But I am so grateful that you're here. So grateful for the ongoing family that's been built through this podcast, and really fired up just to do this all over again. So much so that I've got a new coffee mug here. So I'm a big reader, and in our area in Tennessee, the public library, they've got this reading program, and I logged in all my reading for the summer so far. I'm a big sci-fi, fantasy, horror nut. Logged in all my reading, and I unlocked the greatest prize they've got, and it's a nice coffee mug here. It's a Jurassic Park style mug, but it says public library, and then you flip over the other side here. Reading finds a way. So I love it, and I've got some Asia Cafe coffee here, and it just tastes better when you've earned the coffee mug, right? Anyway, well, with this long-winded preamble aside, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends, so now we are back to the Doctor's Opinion. This is Roman numeral number 15, and I love the first pronoun here, we of Alcoholics Anonymous. There were multiple authors of this book. I know Bill has put a lot of this together, but at the time, through the progression of this book and the publication of this book in the late 30s, there was a large group of men and a couple of women at the time that shared their experience, strength, and hope with this book as well. So they're going to introduce the doctor, which at the first printing of the book wanted to remain anonymous. But later when he found out that maybe his opinion was correct, he's like, you know what, you can put my name in there. So we're going to hear from his perspective today. This is the Doctor's Opinion, Roman numeral 15. We of Alcoholics Anonymous believe that the reader will be interested in the medical estimate of the plan of recovery described in this book. Convincing testimony must surely come from medical men who have had experience with the sufferings of our members and have witnessed our return to health. A well-known doctor, chief physician at a nationally prominent hospital specializing in alcoholic and drug addiction, gave Alcoholics Anonymous this letter. To whom it may concern, I have specialized in the treatment of alcoholism for many years. In late 1934, I attended a patient who, though he had been a competent businessman of good earning capacity, was an alcoholic of a type that I had come to regard as hopeless. In the course of his third treatment, he acquired certain ideas concerning a possible means of recovery. As part of his rehabilitation, he commenced to present his conceptions to other alcoholics, impressing upon them that they must do likewise with still others. This has become the basis of a rapidly growing fellowship of these men and their families. This man and over 100 others appear to have recovered. I personally know scores of cases who are of the type with whom other methods have failed completely. These facts appear to be of extreme medical importance. Because of the extraordinary possibilities of rapid growth inherent in this group, they mark a new epoch in the annals of alcoholism. These men may well have a remedy for thousands of such situations. You may rely absolutely on anything they say about themselves. Very truly yours, William D. Silkworth, MD. All right, now we're back around to the 12 and 12, which refers to the 12 steps and 12 traditions, which is great because we get a little bit more context about the 12 steps. There's chapters devoted to each one. And also there are 12 traditions that have been established through about 18 years of collective experience since the publication of the Big Book, of how to run groups, about how anonymity works, and the primary purpose of the fellowship and the program. So we're going to learn all about the traditions as well. So the first half of the book, probably more than half of the book, is the 12 steps explanations. And then the second half are the traditions. And as my sponsor used to say, the 12 steps are all about not committing suicide. And the 12 traditions are all about not committing homicide. So with that, let's go ahead and read the introduction today. This will be page 15. Introduction. Alcoholics Anonymous first published 12 Steps and 12 Traditions in 1953. Bill W., who along with Dr. Bob S., founded Alcoholics Anonymous in 1935, wrote the book to share 18 years of collective experience within the fellowship on how AA members recover and how our society functions. In recent years, some members and friends of AA have asked if it would be wise to update the language, idioms, and historical references in the book to present a more contemporary image for the fellowship. However, because the book has helped so many alcoholics find recovery, there exists strong sentiment within the fellowship against any change to it. In fact, the 2002 General Service Conference discussed this issue, and it was unanimously recommended that the text in the book 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, written by Bill W., remain as is, recognizing the fellowship's feelings that Bill's writing may be retained as originally published. We hope that the collective spiritual experience of the AA pioneers captured in these pages continues to help alcoholics and friends of AA understand the principles of our program. NA Just for Today, July 1st. A simple program. The program is simply sharing, working the 12 steps, attending meetings, and practicing the principles of the program. Our complicated lives can be made a lot less complicated if we concentrate on a few simple things. Sharing our experience, strength, and hope with others, regular meeting attendance, and practicing the principles of the program in our daily lives. By sharing our experience, strength, and hope with other addicts, we provide a powerful example for newcomers to follow. The effort we put into helping others also helps keep self-centeredness, the core of our disease, at bay. Many of us pick one group, a home group, whose meetings we attend faithfully. This regularity gives some routine to our lives and lets others know that they can find us if they need us. Practicing the 12 steps in our daily lives makes a difference between a balanced recovery and simply not using. The steps give us some much-needed guidance in managing our everyday affairs. Yes, we are complex people, but the NA program simplifies our lives, enabling us to live a life free from active addiction. Our lives can be filled with serenity and hope when we live by the guidance of the simple principles of our program. Just for today, I will remember that while I am a complex person, NA is the simplest way for me to make my life less complicated. Al-Anon's Courage to Change, July 1st. Most of us spend far too much time feeling badly about who we are and what we've done. We may have been harshly criticized by others, or we may have simply lost perspective and become overly hard on ourselves. Today, we have an opportunity to stop that kind of self-destructive thinking. Isn't it about time we allowed ourselves to feel good about ourselves? It takes time for old doubts to fade and wounds to heal. Self-confidence comes slowly, but it grows with practice. We can begin by acknowledging that we do have positive qualities. For those of us who have negative, self-critical thoughts running through our heads all day long, we can make an extra effort to counteract them with positive thoughts. For every defect we identify, we can also try to name an asset. Some of us find it helpful to list 5 or 10 things about our day that we have a right to feel good about before we go to sleep. With practice, we learn to treat ourselves with gentleness and compassion. We all have many admirable qualities, and we owe it to ourselves to let them shine. Today's reminder. Today, I will make an effort to remember that I am a terrific human being. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. And man, these 2 devotionals here, as I said, I think in yesterday's show, I've not read through these, so this was gold for me. This really helped out today. Yeah, we are complicated human beings, according to the NA reading today. For sure. It's not always black and white, but the thing that's wonderful is the program itself is very simple. Not easy, I didn't say that, but it's simple, and it's pretty black and white. But the reading at the top, the program is simply sharing, working the 12 steps, attending meetings, and practicing the principles in our lives, right? So sharing our experience, strength, and hope, working on the steps, attending the fellowships, being of service while you're there, listening, and also giving, right? And then practicing. I love the word practicing. It doesn't say perfecting the principles of the program, which gives me a lot of hope, right? But why do we do these things? Or why do I do these things, I should say? One, because it helps my own sobriety. I'm investing in my own recovery by doing them. But over time, I've learned that I want to do these things. It gives me great joy to do these things. And that gives me so much hope for the future. I see old timers, they come in and they've got 30, 40 years, maybe even 50 years of sobriety, and they're happy. And they're joyful and free, and they say that they still work at just one day at a time. Oftentimes, they don't even boast about how much sober time they have. Everybody else happens to know, but they don't say it. Because they're always saying it's just one day at a time, working it every day. I think it's beautiful. And then the courage to change. Talking about assets, right? Looking for the rose of the day, the good things that happen throughout the day. Maybe the good qualities, the things I got right throughout the day. Now, y'all know me. I'm a big hockey nut. I've always got to bring back the hockey. But we're like goaltenders, right? All these shots are coming at us throughout the day. And a couple of them are going to slip by. But it's not a good idea for me to quit. I get right back on it. Maybe square up my angles a little bit. Track the puck as best I can. and try to make another save. I used to be my world's worst enemy, for sure. And I'm so thankful that it's taken time and a lot of practice. There's that word again, a lot of practice. But I don't beat myself up as much as I used to. I'm just another human being trying to practice these principles in my affairs. But with that, my friends, I've rambled on way over. I hope y'all have a great one today. Hope y'all enjoyed the new readings, and I hope y'all are okay with the fact that I didn't change the song. I know I've gotten some compliments over the past 6 months that they've enjoyed this instrumental track, and I knew I'd probably get some criticism if I changed it up. But thank you all so much for everything. Thank you for listening. And if we're given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.